What's up, guys? My name is Keegan, and I'll be your host of Unbelievably Fire's new podcast series, FiReview, where we'll be discussing the hottest topics in music and entertainment, as well as reviewing the latest music. Joining me this week is Kevin from Wonder Vapor Review, and today we're going to be talking about Sunday's Grammy Awards, as well as taking a look at Eminem's new album, Music to be Murdered By, in its second week. So to get things started, the Grammys, dude, let's talk about them, bro.
The Grammys, man.
Yeah, what a show. What
let's
a year.
just say, first and foremost, it's kind of a big deal when you have someone as young as Billie Eilish who comes in and just sweeps up all the categories. She won 5 categories total. Something funny that's been circulating on the internet that I've stumbled upon is actually a video of her, and she is, you can see her kind of saying like, no, not me, in a way. Almost as if she's like, oh no, please, like, not me, and that's kind of interesting because, like, there's like a weird like dynamic in society where when certain people win awards, people will hate on that person a lot more because they won an award that they feel like they shouldn't have.
And I think, how old is she? Is she like
18 now?
She's like 18, yeah. And to have won like 5 categories, at that age, like it's crazy. Like that is quite an accomplishment.
I think especially like winning Best New Artist is.
Oh yeah.
I think that's like huge because there's so many. There were so many new artists nowadays, and I know we're gonna probably get on that later, but there are so many new artists nowadays because of just how accessible music has become, and how kind of like not necessarily easy, but how much more people can like get into it, and how much more they can like get their own music out, like on platforms like SoundCloud, for instance.
Right. A lot of individual production and a lot of that, and it's like with a lot of these artists that do pop up, to be among one of them to get like Best New Artist, that's an accomplishment, especially with such an oversaturated market that we see nowadays. Best Pop Solo went to Lizzo this year.
Yeah, she, I'm not like, I have no idea who that is.
Yeah.
I heard she won, and I was like, "Who's that?" I went.
She popped up over the summer with
but I was like, "Wow!" Like
she popped up over the summer with this song "Truth Hurts," and actually this song was popular a couple years back. It came out a while back, I think, and then it wasn't popular when it came out, but then like it was in a movie or something, and then like that got it like reproduced, and then it became very popular last year. You know what I mean? It kind of like spiked because people saw it in this movie, so they like re-released it, I guess. But the actual song was out for a while. And then so Best Pop Duo went to Lil Nas X and Billy Ray Cyrus for Old Town Road.
Oh my God, man!
And you know what? That's not even the only thing. That Old Town Road actually won in 2 categories. So.
I'm gonna take my horse to the old town. Can someone put a fucking gun to the back of that horse from Old Town
Honestly,
Road?
like, I'm gonna be honest, like, when the song came out, we all listened to it. Everybody listened to it. It was cool. It was dope, right?
It was funny.
Everybody was like, what is this?
It was
funny. It was
a Billy Ray Cyrus country music rap song. Like,
so,
it had a lot of controversy.
Everybody knew about it, though. It was popular. Like, that shit was hot.
Can it just, like...
But it's been, I think it's had its time.
And I mean this in the nicest way. Can you just go away? Like,
oh no, yeah, I agree with you.
Like, we get it. You went out and you broke a record by being number 1 on the chart for 18 million weeks. You got it. Right.
It's
we don't need to keep hearing the song. And it's one thing. I wish these kind of like one-hit wonder artists were exactly that. They just had one song and then they just went away. Because it's like, if you're not really gonna make any new songs, and his new songs are kind of weak, like Rodeo and Panini. He has a remix coming out with Nas on Rodeo. Like,
oh, I know.
Like, made that, like, okay,
and he remixes the other songs too. Like, that's the thing too.
But like, he had the like Panini, like that trash, absolutely trash. Like, the whole song, like you felt like you were like in like getting brainwashed. Personally, I can't wrap my head around that song and be like, oh, that's actually a good song. I can't justify myself thinking that way.
Moving on to the best rap performance, that went to Nipsey Hussle featuring Roddy Ricch, Racks in the Middle. Roddy Ricch, he's become pretty popular as well.
He's actually, let me look that up real quick. I had that pulled up.
See, Roddy Ricch, like he came out with a couple albums this summer.
He's actually at number 4 right now on the Hot 200.
Yeah, this new song, The Box, came out in December. Yeah, that's like one of the hottest songs right now.
Yeah, please excuse me for his album.
Right. So Roddy Ricch, he was like kind of popular back then, a little bit, and then he kind of this summer released a couple albums. I first listened to it on SoundCloud, and I was like, this is new. Like it's interesting. He was on a couple tracks with DJ Mustard on Perfect 10, which was another great album. When Eminem released his album, he was number 1. Roddy Ricch was number 4. Sold over 100K. So he's doing pretty good.
Yeah, and that's really interesting too, because like a lot of sales nowadays, like you don't really like go out and buy an album anymore. You just kind of like wait for it to come out on Spotify or like Apple Music, and then you just kind of stream it from there.
Right.
So like I feel like we would see a lot more album sales. If people still went and did that, but. Because like if you go on to like Spotify and you look at the stream numbers for these like individual songs, like if those individual people had to go and buy like an individual album, these albums would be like insanely popular. Like they would be diamond in like 4 days because of you have Godzilla. I think because I was listening to it earlier, it's at 68 million streams. Mm-hmm. Which is just like if 68 million people had to go out and buy that album,
it would just vastly increase.
That's a 6-time diamond album, like ridiculous.
The song Godzilla, right? Do you think that would be like a mainstream song? Like, can you see that really like just hitting, like getting out there, becoming really popular because it has Juice WRLD in it. It's a really catchy, like fire song.
Well, right now it's his most popular song on Spotify.
Well,
so I guess you can kind of say yes.
It's going to become like an actual like mainstream song because like Eminem is like mainstream, but not like what everybody's listening to. You know what I mean? I was thinking like since this does have Juice WRLD, it's going to get into that audience too. They're going to listen to it for that feature, and then it's going to bring that entire audience to like Eminem. You know what I mean? A little bit Eminem. Man, what an album that came out, and now it's in its second week.
Still at number 1.
So they had a kind of a breakdown of his sales like the first week. So it said 274,000 copies, right? And out of that, 145 were streaming, 120,000 were pure sales, like of the album itself, and then 8,000 were like they said like the track equivalent, which I'm assuming is like if they were just like buy like the track. So Eminem was coming in first place with Music to Be Murdered By. 274K sales. Halsey was second place with Maniac at 233,000. Then Mac Miller's album Circles was at 174,000. Roddy Ricch number 4 at 100K. And then Post Malone, Hollywood's Bleeding, which came out back in November, is still topping like the sales like chart up there with 53K.
If there was anything that you guys enjoyed from this discussion today, then drop a comment down below. Coming up in the next episode, we're going to be discussing a pretty cool idea that we had the other day.
Yeah, for a music tour. Yeah, it'll be I think an amazing idea, something we really would want to see in 2020. So definitely join us next week for that episode. But for right now, keep it unbelievably fire, keep listening, and keep it real.